Phylum Annelida, which comes from the word annelus, which means little ring, the segmented worms. There's 3 major classes in Phylum Annelida. Class Oligochaeta, the earthworms or decomposers, class Hierodinea, the leeches, which are parasitic, and class Polychaeta, the marine worms. The identifying characteristics of the annelids. They have a true coelom, which is a body cavity which allows them to have true organ systems and muscular layers. They possess complex digestive and circulatory systems, as well as defined nervous and excretory systems. They have no developed respiratory system as they exchange oxygen and CO2 via moist epidermis. Why do you think they come out at night? They're segmented into a sequence of compartments by septa. Segments are marked by rings called annuli. They reproduce sexually and some asexually by regeneration and fission. They are hermaphroditic with cross-fertilization. They are found in terrestrial, freshwater, and marine environments. They can range in size from less than 1 millimeter to over 3 meters. For instance, the seep tube worm. For example, the earthworm has a digestive system, which is one-way tube, including a mouth and anus, with specialization of digestive organs, the esophagus, crop, gizzard, and intestines. Earthworms feed on decaying things in soil, manure, roots, leaves, animals, bacteria, and soil. Mouth and pharynx, food enters here and is swallowed. Esophagus has calciferous glands that release calcium carbonate to rid the worm of excess calcium. A crop, which stores food. A gizzard, which is used to ingest stones to grind the food completely. An intestine, which releases fluids that aid in digestion. Blood vessels along the intestinal wall absorb nutrients. And they have an anus, where waste is released. Earthworms have a closed circulatory system with blood contained in blood vessels. The 3 main blood vessels: 5 aortic arches, a primitive heart, dorsal blood vessels carry blood to the top of the worm, and ventral blood vessels carry blood to the bottom. Hemoglobin in the blood carries oxygen. If you cut a worm in half, the front with the heart and brain will survive and regrow the back, but the back won't regrow the front. Their excretory system includes nephridia, primitive kidneys, which eliminate waste from the blood. Nervous system includes cephalization with a primitive brain and ventral nerve cord, no defined sensory organs. You may notice that invertebrates tend to have ventral nerve cords, and vertebrates have dorsal nerve cords, or protected by their backbone. Earthworms are comprised of about 100 to 150 segments, which helps them move. Each segment, divided by septa, has bristles called setae, which provide traction, while other parts of the worm push forward with alternating stretching and muscular contractions. Segments can contract and relax independently to make the body lengthen or shorten in parts, rather than simultaneously, in conjunction with the hydrostatic skeleton. Earthworm reproduction. Worms are hermaphroditic. Earthworms are also capable of growing amputated segments of their bodies, but this is not asexual reproduction, since it still only results in one organism. Earthworms each have paired male openings and paired sperm receptacles, which take in the sperm from a mate. Don't worry about it being paired, that's not important. Eggs are made in the ovary. When worms mate, the clitellum forms a slime tube which fills with albuminous fluid to nourish developing worms. The worm moves forward through the slime tube, which effectively moves the opposite way. The slime tube passes over female pore and picks up the eggs. The slime tube next passes over sperm receptacle, which is full of other worms' sperm, and the eggs are fertilized. The worm passes completely out of the tube, which closes and forms an egg cocoon in the soil. This takes from 3 weeks to 5 months to hatch, depending on weather and species. The ecological importance of annelids. They form the base of many food chains. House parasites such as protozoa, platyhelminthes, and nematodes. They aerate and mix the soil and are constructive to mineralization and nutrient uptake by vegetation. Certain species mix the surface and mineral soil, clay, loam, etc., by traveling between the two. Their biological roles include acting as composters and helping to create dead organic matter into fertile soil. Their chemical roles include helping to cycle nutrients and minerals through the soil through their casts, or worm poop. This increases the levels of nitrogen, phosphates, and potash. Their physical roles include burrowing and keeping the soil structure open, aerating the soil and providing a path for drainage. Cool random annelid facts. In the New Zealand Maori culture, gnocchi is an earthworm dish sold as a delicacy. Lumbriculus and Olophorus species of annelids are known to reproduce by the penis breaking into fragments and then forming whole new worms. Sounds a little painful, hey folks?